So I'm milling up some cherry logs here. This is a cherry tree I took down probably about a week ago, and I thought I'd take you guys along for the ride. So this is the butt end, which is the biggest end of the tree, obviously, and there was some metal around the other trees where this one was. So I'm going to use a metal detector. It's a Centec from Harbor Freight. Uses a 9-volt battery. There's a little reset button here. And I'm just going to go every cut, since this is the butt end, I'm just going to run it along the side of the log here. It doesn't look like there's any so far. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any. Yeah, actually I don't. Nah, that's the chain I have sitting there. Yeah, I don't think there's any nails in this thing, or screws or whatever. So, I'm going to get the saw going here, and then you guys can watch me do this cut. So I did end up finding a piece of steel in this log. You can see in the end there is some bluing, and I was able to find it with the metal detector, which I was pretty pleased about. And another thing that was kind of neat was some of those boards that I show later on in this video had actually had some bluing on the edge, and that was from that nail, just one little nail. It went up and down the whole tree. I was kind of surprised. I didn't think it would do that. The bluing was in an area probably about maybe 6-8 inches wide of a couple boards down, and it's going to make for some neat lumber, that's for sure. I also did, at the end of this log, whenever I was done milling it, I didn't have the camera going at the time. Here, the rocker switch for the Timberpro, the saw that I'm using, it had actually broken, and it flew out of the saw, which I was kind of surprised at. I'm a little disappointed, I guess, that this had happened. Between the vent in the gas tank, the mill spinning on the bar, and now the on-off switch is gone. The saw wouldn't shut off on me, so I actually just had to turn the choke on and just choke the saw out by starving it for air and pumping a bunch more fuel through it. So I have to figure out how I'm going to fix that now. Not very happy, but I'll get through it, just like everything else I have. So the switch went out on the saw in about 17 or 18.2 hours on the Timberpro. Now I've already put probably 3 or maybe even 4 gallons of gas through. It's this switch right there. So there's a cut in some cherry lumber. Right in there it starts to get pretty small. But boy, this is some pretty wood. I really like it. This one's down here, it's probably 11 inches wide, and it's only going to get thicker. But this was the other boards that I got. These ones I was able to get, I think these are about 7 or 8 feet long. I was able to get 4 of those out of the log that was just sitting on top of this one going up there. Pretty cool. I'm still in the phase of realizing that I actually can make lumber now. Because for all these years I've bought lumber, and now I can just make my own. I'm getting a lot of sawdust, as you all can see. This is definitely a messy job. And these are some other boards that I had gotten And they look just as good as everything else. Now this one actually has a decent sized split in it. One of those ones over there has the pith in it, and I know that that's probably going to split in two. So I thought you guys would like to see me milling a cherry log. I've got 3 more about this size to mill, and that'll be about it for the cherry. The pine, just about, I have 1 more load left to do, and I have these 2 logs here to do. Also, the neighbor who does a lot of ladder work I was talking to him, and he'd asked me how my milling was going, and I said it was good, and then he had asked me how long of logs I can mill, and I said, oh, about 6 feet. And I said, I've seen guys use extension ladders. So as it turns out, he had an extra extension ladder that he didn't want, and he just gave it to me. So I have the other half of this. This is 14 feet for this section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow, that was a good guess. 14 rungs, and yeah, they're about a foot apart. 14, and then add, what, 6 inches, maybe a little more on each side. 6 inches, and then... So that's about a 15-foot section, so I can mill... I need a foot on each side, 15, 14, 13, so I can mill a 13-foot long log with this. So I am very, very pleased with this. It didn't cost me a thing. He was happy to get rid of it, and I was happy to use it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.